Despite fears of a slowdown, Asia's economies surprised the world last year.
So if there was one headline for 25, it'd be tariffs, tariffs, tariffs.
Yep.
But Asian economies, despite these US tariffs, actually performed quite well. We had record amounts of trade volume coming through despite these tariffs, and that's of course partly explained by the AI hardware boom, because all this investment data centers in the US is sucking in these semiconductors that are being produced in Asia, all the other equipment that goes into that.
Asia is a massive hub for AI hardware and technology, both in manufacturing and exports. An example of this is TSMC in Taiwan, producing an estimated 90% of the world's top semiconductor chips. But economists warn that trade from the AI and tech boom may cool down in 2026. How could that impact Asia?
We already had the AI boom. The question is whether it's going to continue. And there I'm less optimistic. Not so much because of a collapse in the AI story, but because there is a lot of technology being developed in the US to substitute the fabs. That means that there may be less demand down the road in Asia. So that will reduce the imports from the rest of Asia. Therefore, that substitution effect, in my view, will slow down Asian exports into the US in 2026.
While exports drove growth in 2025, HSBC's Frederic Neumann says Asian economies will need to turn inward this year, relying more on domestic consumption, demand, and investment.
Of the coming year, it's going to be more domestic consumption, domestic investment that will guide growth, because the expectation is that trade will cool sooner or later. You can't sustain these growth rates on exports. Even the AI boom at some point will start to fade a little bit. And so it's important that economies like India, China, Southeast Asia, right, a huge market, that the consumer there starts to step up and investment come back.
But are we going to see the domestic consumer in China step up? China has been mired with deep economic challenges. It really needs the domestic consumer to just kick into gear. Is that going to happen this year?
That is the big question, not just for China, but for the rest of the world. We need China's consumers to step up. I think it will take a bit more time before the Chinese consumer comes roaring back, but the fact that the equity market is doing better, the fact that the government is focusing a bit more on supporting childcare should at the margin help to revive consumer spending in China, though it's not going to be a quick fix that many investors are hoping for. Ultimately, the key to Asian prosperity is to unleash a domestic consumer. That's the missing part, particularly in China. If we can fix that, then Asia doesn't really need the rest of the world to carry its growth.
And beyond economics, geopolitics could be the biggest risk factor for Asia in 2026.
2026 won't be the year of unexpected positive news, but rather unexpected negative news, and not because Asia will not be resilient. Asia will remain resilient, but nothing can be resilient enough to the geopolitical risks that Asia will be facing in 2026 due to the Taiwan Straits, Japan-China relations, and there's many other, potential conflicts that we could see.
Still, some analysts remain cautiously optimistic.
The region has been navigating some very choppy waters. Can Asia continue to adapt and, as you say, be resilient in this environment?
Well, if you look historically, Asia is not a stranger to geopolitical uncertainty. We always had repeated episodes of conflict, stress within the region. But by and large, states have managed to contain these types of conflicts. And so generally, the region is relatively peaceful. It's relatively stable compared to other parts of the world. And that is something that's unlikely to be disrupted, even with changes in U.S. policy priorities.
In 2025, resilience defined Asian economies. But in 2026, the region could face a tougher test, balancing technology, domestic consumption, and geopolitics.